Hi, I am alive and kicking. Sorry I haven't been around for a little while. It's just been a strange few months. I just have to mention that I'm sorry I'm going to be disappointing someone, and I don't know who's been so kind and arranged for me to get my funeral plan. I don't intend using it, and I don't intend going anywhere at any time soon. This time last year we were all thinking, can't wait till next year, can't wait. It's not been an amazing year. I think more people have learnt more about themselves than they have about anything else. Something I've found that this world has definitely changed. I am sure, and I hope that you will agree with me, that people used to be a lot more tolerant. Just generally, because now everything is extremes, one way or the other. You have to do this or you are this. And there's nothing that really meets in the middle anymore, which I find sad. It's not good. But here's hoping that next year will improve. It can't really get any worse, can it? I've had a few people asking me, how would Freddie deal with this situation? What would he be doing? To be honest, I think he would be crawling up the walls. He was not a person who you could tell, you have to stay inside, you have to do this, you have to do something else, which is what's happening at the moment. I think he would be so sad that he wouldn't be able to see friends, that he couldn't visit people, he couldn't travel anywhere that he wanted to do. But in the end, yes, like all of us, he would accept it. That's the only thing that he could do. This time of year always reminds me, where Freddie is concerned, about Christmas trees. You all know, he was a traditionalist. He had to have a tree, wherever he was. I remember we were in New York, and we weren't actually going to be there for Christmas because he almost always tried to actually have Christmas itself at home in London. But because it was the lead up to Christmas, he insisted on having a tree in the apartment in New York. And that was one of the things that he actually enjoyed decorating. You know, he loved getting the decorations out of the boxes and putting them on the trees. Garden Lodge was amazing every year, you know, from Christmas 85 onwards. It went into the big sitting room. And for Freddie, the tree had to almost touch the roof. So in Garden Lodge, the tree was 13, 14 foot tall. How much is that? Just over 4 meters. So that there was still a little bit of room to put the star on the top. But even that tree, Freddie would insist on decorating the lower branches. But then Jim would be around with step ladders to fill the rest over one side, because also it would be near the minstrel's gallery. So in fact, he could lean over the gallery and finish the top of the backside of the tree. There were meters and meters of lights. There was all this the glitter streaming things. There were balls. There was everything. This was something that Freddie loved doing. It was, as I say, even in New York, that one, because it wasn't so big, he actually was able to decorate most of it himself. But even with the big one, as I say, he was, maybe the bottom 3 levels of branches. Again, Christmas itself, again, tradition. Christmas, according to the Christmas Carol, it's a season of goodwill to all men. And that's something that Freddie took to heart, because he was always generous to friends. He was always so kind. But Christmas gave him a reason to do it. And I've told you how he always insisted that any of his friends who were in London and who were not going to be seeing family, they had to be at his place for Christmas. Christmas lunch one time, there were 28 people. I know it was supposed to be planned. I think there was about 21 originally going to be there. But in the end, a few more came in. There was one good friend of him, of Freddie's, James, who was British, who lived in Connecticut, but he always was in London for Christmas, basically to see his family who lived outside, but he would always come to Freddie for Christmas. It was a chance for Freddie to actually sit down with people, to talk to them. He would have friends over, sitting, but it would always be basically for a drink. But for Christmas lunch, there was people sitting down, eating, talking, laughing. It really was the happiest times. As I say to you all the time, Freddie really was happy. He enjoyed laughing. He enjoyed good company. This is what really kept him going. Particularly in those last years, just knowing that friends were there for him. It's a time that I think about, and I suppose, while I miss Freddie all the time, it is the time of year that I miss him most, even more so than the November date, because this really is when he was his happiest, to be surrounded by friends, particularly after opening the presents, and the whole sitting room was covered in wrapping paper, and he was sitting there in the middle of it, just, with all the things in front of him, but everybody was sitting there with piles in front of them. It just was incredible. And that I so miss. But this isn't going to end on a sad note. We have to think of the good times. Think of who you can make happy, but just by giving them a call or something, I've got a whole list of people that I will be calling soon. Just totally out of the blue, not even planned, because I know for a fact that it will make me happy. And I'm very certain that it will make the people on the end of the phone happy as well. One last thing I should actually mention that I've been able to do in these last months, couple of months, 3 months. The autobiography, my life from 1955 to 2020, has now been finished. We will have more information for you in the new year. It's all been going through the process. I've had good times and tearful times looking through photographs that I have not looked at in years and years. So hopefully there will be things in there that you will all enjoy, those of you that want it. It is my life. It's what happened before Freddie, what's happened after Freddie, and of course it couldn't exist without those 12 years. But again, it's a different aspect of that life. Excuse me. Let me just wish you all the very, very, very best, to have a great Christmas, a very happy new year, and here's hoping that the new year will bring all of us a little bit more freedom. So take care, all of you, please, and I promise you this time, talk to you soon.